Hello, my name is Eric Torres. As you can hear, I have a full French accent, but I spent half of my life in India, and I am responsible of the whole technology around IoT for Tata Communications. Actually, I created those technologies that Tata Communications is now implementing in India. What I'm going to talk to you now is about the technologies that drives IoT. And you know, IoT is the next frontier for business in the coming years. So you, as young guys, I would really like to encourage you to look at IoT as your next challenge in life and what you can do for India around IoT. Let me first explain something. You have heard about digitalization of the world. IoT is about digitalization of the world. In IoT, you have basically 4 steps: sense, measure, analyze, and act. Okay? And this is summarized as an acronym SMAA. Okay? You need first to sense, because you need to get a device that will sense and measure all type of data and then transmit the data to the cloud. So if you take those 4 steps, you can realize quickly that, for example, in sense and measures, all technology that will impact the way we sense and measure the data will impact IoT. So we are here in the physics and the chemistry of the research and development. Let me give you the example of a temperature sensor. Today, for example, we have an offering to measure temperature. It looks very simple, but it's very useful. Okay? Why? Because you can use it to assure a cold chain has not been broken. You can use it to assure that a medicine is still valid. You have plenty of usage. And the way you measure a temperature is completely different depending on the range. If I'm taking, for example, normal temperature measurement in India from +5 degrees to 85 degrees, like in BR, I will use a certain technology. Now, if I move to Himalaya, I will need to measure between -40 to +35 degrees. I will use another technology. And if I want to measure the temperature of a steel oven, I need to measure up to 1800 degrees. I will use another technology as well. So this area is not something that is under the control of Tata Communications, but it's a very important research area. Why? Because the way you measure data drives the way you consume energy. Okay? And remember, those devices, most of them will be battery operated. So the way they consume energy, the lower energy they consume, the longer lifetime they will have. Then when you have measured those data, you need to transmit the data. So this is where Tata Communication involvement comes in. Okay? Transmitting data also requires energy. But the whole story of IoT, if you want to make it affordable in the market, is to use devices that are battery operated. You don't want to have wires everywhere. You know, if you have a smart building, a battery operated device is much better than a wire operated device. So you need to transmit those data. Those data consume energy. You want the device to have a very long lifetime. And this is where the technology also involves new telecom protocols called LP1, Low Power Wide Area Network, which allow transmission of data for a very long lifetime, for example 6-7 years for a smart water meter. If I take in the area of smart agriculture a soil moisture sensor, you will also send data for 4-5 years. Those protocols allow the send of data at a very low level of energy. And the energy consumption of those protocols is now coming to be 5,000 to 8,000 times less than the energy consumed by a GSM telephone to send the same data. So here the technology is very important because we are talking new chip. Those chip being energy scarcity, okay, and it's also introduced a new paradigm in telecom, because usually in telecom we used to get more bandwidth, okay, for the same energy. Today in IoT, the technology that counts is to consume much less energy for the bandwidth, the same bandwidth we transmit. Part of that energy problem is also all technologies that will allow energy harvesting. Okay? And here I can give you an example. There is today coming up in the market thin film layer that will use solar energy to load the battery of a device. So this device will be covered by such a film, and then this film will transmit the solar energy to the battery, extending again the lifetime of the device. So we talk here about sensing and measuring. There is a specific area into that, which is location. Okay? Location is also a basic service you will find in IoT. Everyone wants to know where the device is. However, you cannot use GPS service because GPS is energy consuming. Therefore, you use other technology, which is called time differentiated on-air, to locate the device. Okay? And it's a matter of algorithm. So here, improvement in algorithm will help improving the location or finding a device, locating an asset in a field, in a market, in a city, at a very low cost as well. Okay, and it's a big matter of improvement, because if you can know where is a device without using GPS, again you save a lot of energy. Okay, so you will hear me talking a lot about energy in that presentation. Now, if we move to the AA, analyze and act. Here we touch all IT technologies. IoT is big data. Okay? IoT generates a big volume of data. If you take industrial IoT, you can generate 1 gigabyte of data in 1 second. So what will count here is all technology that will allow analyzing big amount of data in a very short time frame. Okay? 100 gigabyte of data in 2-3 seconds. You need new technology for it. Also, a lot of those data will be unstructured data. So you need new databases that will allow storing and manipulating unstructured data combined with structured data. Okay. So here we are talking what? We are talking new algorithmic. We are also talking artificial intelligence. Okay. You cannot deal with big data without artificial intelligence, and all type of artificial intelligence will be welcome in IoT. Last but not least, I would like to speak about process improvement. So here it's less technology oriented, but it can be very disruptive as well. Okay? Just think about the fact that Tata Communications, for example, will move 20-25,000 devices a day, okay, that we will be implemented in our customers for IoT project. You need to do that at a cost that is affordable by a customer, which means we need to allocate to that something than less than 10 rupee a device to move them across the market. Okay. So again here, maybe less technology, but maybe more idea oriented. We are looking for disruptive ideas to help us achieving that target. As a matter of conclusion, I'd like to say that, and you may realize that already, IoT touches all technology areas. An improvement in one of these areas will definitively improve IoT. So I would like to encourage all of you to share your ideas through this innovation contest that Tata Communications is launching and build it with us. Thank you.